The Milkmaid by Johannes Vermeer is a great representation of why his work has stood the test of time. It represents Vermeer at his very best. Here, he depicts a specific moment in which the household maid is attentively working. Her demeanor in preparing food conveys eloquently one of the strongest values of 17th century Netherlands, domestic virtue. In his lifetime, Vermeer produced 45 paintings, of which only 36 are known today. He lived a short life in Delft with his wife and 11 children, having passed away at the young age of just 43. He had no pupils and his teacher is unknown, but he was among the respected members of the Artists' Guild in Delft. The guild comprised of 6 members, 2 potters, 2 stained glass artists, and 2 painters, Vermeer being one of them. At the time that Vermeer was born in Delft, the region was shaping up to be one of the first modern cities in the world. The Dutch Golden Age helped establish the Dutch Republic as a leader in trade, science, and arts. Most of the artists of this time had studied in Rome, and so were greatly influenced by Caravaggio's theatrical artistic choices, such as the use of bold colors, strong highlights, and deep shadows. Artists such as Frans Hals, Gerrit van Honthorst, Hendrik Terburgen, and Rembrandt van Rijn flourished during this time period. Here we can see 2 pieces that look similar at first glance, one by Vermeer and one by Pieter de Hooch, a Dutch Golden Age painter famous for his quiet domestic scenes. Both are masters in their depiction of complex interior spaces. In fact, Pieter's sophisticated treatment of light in some instances surpasses that of Vermeer's. However, it is in the subjects where we see the real difference. His subjects look almost like wooden puppets, devoid of any life when perceived by the viewers. What sets Vermeer apart from other Dutch masters is his ability to create a narrative from the ordinary lives of his subjects. Vermeer's father worked as an art dealer from the 1630s on. That may have helped Vermeer develop his ability to assimilate artistic styles from the past and contemporary masters. After his father passed away in 1652, he left behind a great amount of debt. Vermeer was to continue on his father's path as an art dealer to pay off his debt. As funds were tight, Vermeer trained himself as a painter rather than study with a master. He was a painter for the common man. The artists preceding him were of the Renaissance and the Golden Age, where there was mass representation of monarchs and aristocrats. Yet he quickly developed his style and put forth the subject matter we know all too well, domestic life and its many silent pleasures, an unfiltered image of the everyday rural Dutch life. He appreciates the ordinary women around him and depicts their quiet existence in society. He idealized women in the work field. Their postures, behaviors, and expressions suggest that he closely studied them with sympathy. The moments he depicts are intimate. As viewers, we feel the connection that he has built with the subjects, subtly watching them, a gaze of immense respect. He portrays them as self-sufficient, dignified, and strong individuals. Among the few paintings we have of him today, the majority are of the same setting. A special look at this interior. Although the tile patterns may vary, there's a feeling of familiarity, as if we've been here before. The furniture may change and the subjects may pass in and out, but the composition, the angles, and the undisturbed moments of pondering feel identical. In this painting, we can see why Vermeer has been nicknamed the Master of Light. He has a way of making us viewers feel as if we are in the room, as if we have influence over the objects and the subject's surroundings. The number of colors available in 17th century Netherlands was limited and far fewer than what's available to the modern artist. The range and depth of colors in Vermeer's paintings were achieved by using only a few pigments. Despite his limited palette, he was able to create a visual journey, far from muted. A yellow fabric would never truly be yellow as such, but rather an ochre with the accented highlights of yellow. He had an interest in naturalistic effects, carefully balancing compositions. He creates extreme contrast by using the presence of light effectively. We can see that the light is the second subject of the painting. The glow is seen on the objects on the table, the bread and the milk jug. He uses it to create a sense of crispness in the edges, the crustaceous texture of the bread against the silky softness of the milkmaid's clothes and skin. The light, though bright, doesn't wash out the rough texture of the bread crusts or flatten the volumes of the maid's thick waist and rounded shoulders. He uses complementary hues to optimally showcase highlights and shadows, almost as a means of exaggeration. It has been said that Vermeer has painted here the most beautiful depiction of a bare white wall. We can see the nails, its shadow, and the rust that surrounds it. He carefully placed each item in the setting of this room to provide the illusion of a more spacious area. One thing that we can easily deduce from a Vermeer piece is his usage of linear perspective. We can even see the spot he punctured on the canvas while attempting to lay down the baselines for his composition using a pen and a thread. Having a unique focal point was uncommon for this era. His brushwork reveals extraordinary technical abilities and meticulous care. He layered the paint heavily to create a sense of depth. He painted using fine hair brushes that were used to achieve the minute detailings. This is called the wet-on-wet technique that is used to achieve smoother finishes like that for the depiction of skin. He passed away not having gained widespread fame during his lifetime. In fact, it took 2 centuries after his passing for art historian Gustav Wagen and art critic Theophil Thoria-Berger to bring to light Vermeer's oeuvre to be admired. But he enjoyed the small pleasures of life and still managed to contribute immensely to the Dutch Baroque art movement. His story goes to show us that things of beauty can stem out of the smallest things. Even if history can sometimes leave us as an afterthought, the potential joy and mastery of one's ambitions is enough to surpass all censorship. Vermeer never left behind a self-portrait, though many believe the figure on the left in this painting is him. Today, this man, whose face is unknown, is able to captivate viewers 4 centuries after his life and evoke in them numerous feelings, making them ask questions about his subjects, their stories, and about the master himself.